Okay, you guys are in for a treat, and so am I. Our next guest is someone that I've always wanted to see live, but never quite got the chance to. I'm sure you've all heard his name before. Yes. He's a well-known sessionist, performer, and recording artist. He's played at the North Sea Jazz Fest. He's had live shows with Air Supply. He's recorded for M. Nasir, Jamal Abdullah, Siti Nurhaliza, Nora, Sheila Majid, and a bunch of Chinese and Indonesian artists. He is definitely one of Malaysia's top drummers and first call for session gigs. Can we please welcome to the stage Mr. Gary Gideon?
Hi, good morning everyone. Selamat pagi. Thanks for coming. Sorry for the little technical slip-up we just had, but it's all part of the entertainment. Okay. Now, please use this opportunity, okay, untuk tanya soalan. It's not about what I'm going to perform. This is part of my history. But if you guys came not prepared with any questions, then you guys are at a loss, because I have 45 to 46 years of experience, and I'm sure I will be able to help answer all your questions. So whatever you have, do not be shy. Please be receptive, okay? I'm not going to eat you guys up, because it's not about rudiments, okay? Drums is not entirely about rudiments. Itu is memang asas akar umbi kita, okay? The roots of every drummer. But you start with rudiments and then you work yourself up. I've picked 2 songs, and I also have a very special guest. It's not me, it's a very special guest. We've worked together for many, many, many years. We've worked on very, very big hits. We've been in this industry for 35, 40 years. I shall bring this wonderful gentleman up in a little while, okay? I've picked these 2 songs because there is a history behind it. You never really know if you are ready for whatever opportunities come. But if you don't jump into the deep end of the pool, that means kalau, yalah, dulu masa kat kampung, bila kita belajar nak mandi sungai kan, kita tunggu air bah, and we jump in. Literally, that's what we all did when we were young. This is back in the 50s and in the 60s. So you've got to sometimes take a risk factor. But at the same time, you also need to pay your dues in the industry. Okay? So I'm going to play this song, and then after that, I will explain to you the history behind this song. And please, if you have questions, feel free, okay? So I won't give you the title of the song. Maybe some of you may have heard it. It came out very much in the 70s. Maybe I hope some of you guys were born then. If not, I think you've heard of the name of the band. Okay, so I'll play it, and then you can ask me questions later. Okay, here we go.
Even the nights are better now that we're here together. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Are you ready? The lone
Okay, that was, as you all know, from Air Supply. There's a very big story behind that. And remember, I said to you, sometimes you will never be ready for what comes around. But you've always got to sharpen your skills as a drummer, okay? It's not about chops, because you can have all the chops in the world. As Steve Gadd put it, okay? It's the grooves that pay the bills, right? It's not about chops. Always remember that. It's not about chops. And having chops is one thing, but being able to know where to put your chops. Okay? It's not about Aaron Spears. It's not about all those gospel players. They are in that genre. Remember one thing, okay? Because that genre demands that style of playing. But the dangerous part I have noticed, and I'm going to be very critical here. I'm saying this, I'm not targeting this at anyone, but this is my opinion, my personal opinion. Having gospel chops is great, but it doesn't fit in most genres. Don't put a gospel chop in a ballad unless the producer asks you. Okay? It's a very big mistake a lot of drummers make. I also am into linear patterns. It helped me a lot. Your balances between the top and the bottom, that coordination. But the secret to actually being a creative drummer in the industry is to know when and when not to. That can only come from experience. But don't take... I've tried using gospel chops in some of the cantopop stuff that I have been doing. Okay? It doesn't work. It really doesn't work. So be very careful with gospel chops. You need to know where to put it. Okay, so enough of that. The story behind Air Supply, it was in 2014, okay? 2014. I think I was in Singapore. And I got a call from Koo Fook Sing. Koo Fook Sing is the original keyboard player for Alley Cats. Okay? I've been working with him for a very long time. And he asked me if I was willing to sub. Okay? I was only just a replacement drummer for Air Supply. He asked me if I would really be willing to sub for them. For personal reasons, their drummer couldn't make it. So I said yes. I got in touch with, their management got in touch with me, Air Supply's management. His name is Sparky. That's his nickname lah. And there were no charts to the song. Okay, they sent me, that was the live board take recording that you just heard. I chose that because you guys could actually hear. Most of the time, when a drummer presents, you don't hear the click, naturally, because nobody wants to hear the click. But I chose this song so that you guys can actually, how should I say, you can actually interpret, okay, when the drummer is playing and you've actually got the click out there. Don't ever make the click your enemy. Don't ever. So many of you are so afraid of the click. I've come across that. It is your best friend. It is your best friend. Don't let it run your life. Jangan menghambakan diri pada metronom. Jangan. It's only just there. But it's a very good guide, okay? Because it shows you where you tend to drag, where you tend to be loose in your playing. All right? So anyhow, they sent me the all 15 or 16 songs. I had 1 week, okay? No charts. Saya tidur, I think I used to sleep at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning transcribing my drum parts. And one day before the show, we met up, we checked in the KL Hilton. That's where I met them. And then the next day, Saturday, we went to the venue. The venue was at Calvary Convention Center. We went sound check. I only played 2 songs. This was the opening. And then there was one more, I can't remember the title. Girl, you're every woman in the world to me. That was the second song, okay? It segued into it. And they finished the first and second, and then Russell and Graham walked away. So I spoke to the music director, Johnny. I said, Johnny, did I do anything wrong? Because they've walked away. We still have 14 more songs to play. So he said, no, they're happy. Tapi malam tu, that night, okay, I still had 14 songs which I did not try with Air Supply, the band, okay? I only did 2. All the rehearsals was on my own in Singapore. So literally, I punya mata was glued to the drum chart, you know. So you see, if ever you guys think it's hard, it's tough, that was very, very, very hard for me to do. But you got to believe in your journey. If you don't believe in what you're doing, don't play music. It is the hardest line to be in because you're going to get friends yang akan mengutuk, akan keji. We are in a society here where we need to build. Jangan membinasa, pasal kata-kata akan membina atau membinasakan seseorang pemuzik, seorang ahli seni. Don't become part of the negative industry. Move away from them. Yeah. Move away from them. How are we going to grow if kita keji, mengkeji, if we start saying, Yes, I am very critical about things that I do. I am. Okay? But I am here today not to pinpoint faults, but I'm here today to just share with you exactly what has worked for me, okay? And so, back to Air Supply, we carried on. From there, we went to Singapore, and then we did quite a number of shows in Indonesia, okay? Jangan lupa, I'm only just a sub for them. Graham was very kind to actually say to me, welcome. There's the 7th member of Air Supply. They've gone through many musicians, many drummers. They're now on tour with another drummer. In fact, my wife and my princess, who I'm going to be seeing, we're going to be visiting them when they come in December. I haven't seen them in a long time. Yeah, and so the following year they came down and we continued. It made more sense for them to actually have their own drummer because I'm based here. They are based in the US. And you know, the red tape to get visas and permit to live in America is very difficult, as you all know. So they carried on with their band, and we're still in touch. Before I call this wonderful gentleman up, do you have any questions pertaining to what I just did? Any questions? I'm going to play one more song which went viral. So, any questions?
Come on. Baik, Angry, I was just wondering, because you've recorded so much things over the years, I wanna know how you come up with all those legendary fills that we've heard, and like I think basically for grooves, maybe the producer has like told you or written down what grooves he needs and he wants for the specific songs. But what about your choices of fill-ins and how you find which one fits best in any given situation? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Was it written down also, or you came up with those things?
Not always the drum fills was written out. In fact, Ghazal untuk Rabia, which the drummer just played, all those ideas, they were mine. In fact, if you know Ghazal untuk Rabia, there is When I first went into the studio, Nasir, Dato' Nasir, had actually played the tape. Okay, there was nothing. So I was listening to Nan's guitar work. It's very flamenco. They use the castanets. So I said to Nasir, okay, I have an idea. And so I started with the castanets. That came from Pocaro, but it's basically a collection of ideas that I got from Pocaro, Gad, that I've kept in my little pocket of goodies. But listening is very important. You see? So, if you want to listen to Ghazal untuk Rabia, those half-time tom fills really fitted in the melody of the song. So I didn't just go, hey, I already know what to do. I actually listened to the melody. The same goes for Tanya Sama Itu Hul Hul. And Nasir, ding, 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 ding. When I first heard the backing track, I immediately said to Nasir, okay, I already know what I want to do. I took out my brushes, because to me it sounded very country-ish. See, I also am a big fan of country and Western music. The ideas that I came up with were actually me listening to the melody. There were some moments where my very, very close working buddy, Mr. Bel Fatah, actually wrote out drum patterns to me. Okay, so I would follow. I've even worked with the late Iskandar Ismail from Singapore, and he gave me one song, and there were none of my fills. Everything was written, all tauge, from start to the end. And same goes for Arwah Pak Nga. When I recorded Badasila, it was my first time working for Arwah Pak Nga. And he gave me one song. Those ideas were mine. A lot of them were mine. How, it's a tough question to answer so that you can actually feel where I'm coming from. But we kind of work together over the years, right? It really comes down to listening to the melody, okay? To all you young drummers, okay? Please go and do yourself this big favor. Go back to listening to J.R. Robinson. Go back to listening to Steve Gadd, legendary Steve Gadd. Okay, go back to listening to Pocaro. You may have, but drums is all about the 2 and 4 thing. I know some people don't like it, but it's all about the 2 and 4. If you don't have pocket, if you don't have groove, all those chops on top is going to be very, very messy. It's not going to sit. So if you can put in all those fills, but if you're not keeping the groove, the whole band, the rhythm section is going to be floating. It's a terrible feeling. Okay, so do yourself a favor, and I mean this from the goodness of my heart. Go and listen to all these people. Go into it. Forget about Aaron Spears. Forget about, who else can I think of? All the younger players. Forget about them for now. Because they've got chops. Sampai dunia akhirat pun tak habis their chops. Okay? But go back. You guys are here to keep groove. I can do all those things, but I choose not to. I choose to put them aside. Because focus, your job is to anchor in the band. If the drummer is not grounded in keeping that 2 and 4 going, you're going to have a very big problem. Okay. So even songs like blues, Terengganu Kita, you ask me where did those ideas come from? It came from just actually listening to the melody. It's very important. I've worked in a lot of the Chinese industry. I don't understand the Chinese language, okay, but I understand music, and music is a universal language, okay. You may not be able to read music or sight read, but music is music. You go around anywhere in the world, okay, if, for example, if you can read, I'll just come up with a chart. Somebody from Mongolia can play. The same thing, if somebody from Saudi Arabia, just give him the drum chart, he can play. So, it's musical. I hope I've kind of given you an answer. It's really listen. When you have a song, listen. Tapi kalau peluru, you tak ada peluru, how are you going to play a ballad? How? Listen to this, okay? When you're going to play a ballad, you got to play the melody. Right? There's also another thing I'm going to touch on tuning. I hope I remember if somebody can remind me. It's about tuning, which is very important. Okay, any other questions? Yes, okay, one at the top there. Sorry, I'll come down to you, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello, Uncle Gary. I just wanted to ask.
The drummer for Ray Jones. Yes.
That's me. I wanted to ask, knowing the longevity you've had in the scene, how do you manage your burnout, having back-to-back gigs, knowing the drummer that you are, having back-to-back gigs? How do you manage burnout? Okay,
very, very good question. When I first started doing the Chinese tours, my first tour was with Chang Hui Mei. Mei, as she's not some of you, if you're familiar with, will know. I used to really whack. But it was during the first couple of shows, I've started to feel the burnout. Because you're only human, okay? You can take how many bottles, how many cans of Red Bull, it's not going to help you. It's only going to add towards you becoming a strict diabetic patient, okay? So stay away from Red Bull. It's not good for you. Technique, okay? Jangan salah paham, okay? Guys, listen to me. Technique is not about chops. It's not about chops. Don't misinterpret the word technique. Technique is when you can take something intricate, something difficult, okay? You simplify the technique using less effort, but maintaining the intensity. How? It's all down to you. You guys have got to go and sit down and work that out, because I'm not you and you are not me, so I can't just say this is how I do it. But you've got to find the easiest way. Relax. A lot of drummers have this problem when they go out, they whack. I worked with Peter Chong. He's one of the best sound engineers this part of the world. And what Peter said to me was very true. The mic will pick up whatever you play. Kalau engkau baduk ular cymbal tu, dia akan pick up that intensity, right? If you learn to relax, you will hear that cymbal open up musically. I'll show you. If you were to play the cymbal this way, okay, watch, huh? right? Or if you were to do this. See? Yes, loud, yes. Even with hi-hats, here's a very big tip for you guys, okay? There are many ways of playing open hi-hat, but go back and try this. Instead of doing this, try this. Instead of, I play this. Okay, have that balance. Work your internal balance is very, very important. So play what you are comfortable with. You won't get a burnout, I can guarantee you that. So that's eventually what I did. Sometimes when you're in a situation where okay, sound guys, you guys are my best friend, all right? You're not my enemy, okay? But the problem can be also when they compress and when they gate. So if you guys don't know what compress and gate is, please go and try to find out the difference when somebody compresses the drum kit and when you tell them, can you please release the gate, release the compress. Because when they gate the drum kit, you really have to hit it at a certain level untuk gate tu buka tau. You guys know, I think you know it, right? But it becomes a drummer's nightmare. Because when the engineer gates it, kerja untuk dia orang senang. But it makes it very difficult for me. So whenever I go and play, I will tell, please, can you gate the drum kit? Open up the gate. Open up, don't compress the drum set. Then you get the actual clean drum sound. There are situations where if I'm in a studio, the engineer will say, can I? So I say, yeah, please, go ahead. Because I'm only doing one song or two songs. But if I'm playing live, I will always say, just open it. Yeah. So always remember this, okay? Technique is not about all the whatever you can do on the drum kit, okay? It's making hard work easy. Hard work easy. For me, that's technique. Okay. It's okay. Are you okay with that? Yeah? Okay, thanks. Okay, what's the next gentleman? Yes, sir.
Hi, I want to ask, now I also have teaching. So if I have student is left-handed and I am a right-handed, so do you recommend me to teach him in open-handed, like how you play?
Okay. Is that your question?
Yeah.
Okay, very good question. One big mistake teachers make. Don't convert the student. Don't force the student to play your way. Okay. It is a bit difficult if I'm left-handed and I'm trying to teach a right-handed. But how you explain is the same as if you were left-handed. It's the same thing, one. Only the only confusing part will be where I'm looking at you and visually I'm seeing things differently, you know. But the technique is the same. The application is still the same. Okay, your right is your right, your left is your left. So don't change the student over don't. I'm all for open-handed playing. Klaus Hessler has got a lot of stuff on open-handed playing. But there are also some very great drummers out there who are right-handed. Okay. In fact, that hi-hat thing that I just did just now, I was very humbled to actually see Steve Smith actually doing an explanation. So I thought, hey, okay, I'm on the right track. At least it works. Because he also explained the same thing on playing with the hi-hat, just slightly open. So coming back to your situation, don't change. Because I think as a teacher, you have a never-ending, lifelong experience of adapting. Because each student has his own way. I've worked with autistic children. It's not easy, but it adds to your experience of an approach to situations such as that. So don't change. I have a student. His name is Danny. I don't know if he's here. Are you here, Danny? No. Okay. Danny is left-handed, but the teacher changed him to right-handed. And so when Danny came to me, he could play both. So I said, Danny, stop, go back. Are you comfortable playing open? Yes, stick to that. But Danny can play both ways now, so that's an added advantage. Okay, it's good also if, even for myself, I've started to work a lot on using my right hand, just as little tiny fills here and there. Okay, does that answer your question, sir?
I think yes. Thank you so much.
Yeah. All the best. 10 minutes, so you have to plan. Okay. I've got 10 minutes. I would like to call upon this very, very, very good friend of mine, Mr. Bell Fatah. Please come forward. Bell and I have worked on very, very, very big hits. A lot. He's really a true legend in the industry. If you don't know him, he's just someone out of this world. So I brought him here because we work together, and I need his support also. Yeah.
Okay. Hello.
Okay. So there was one song we did that from Data, is it? Yeah. He has an explanation. He has something to.
So, okay, guys. Gary, I think during my experience dalam 40 tahun, jarang orang buat macam gitu. I think you mesti terperanjat. Lagu tu ada rekod semua, gitar, semua bass, vokal semua, keyboard masuk, backup vokal. Last dia masuk drum. Boleh bayangkan tak? Pernah buat tak? Ini serius. Because Gary that time tengah busy. So I got no choice. Tapi I nak demand. So yang kelebihan dia pasal baca, reading is one thing. Sebab dia boleh, lagu tu dia boleh ikut. Sebab I kena extra work, tulis balik. Tapi Gary pasal dia experience, dia dah berasa kerja. I think this session untuk I dah beratur dekat 1,000 lagu, banyak sangat. So he know my style. Itu lagu kira ganjil. I think you all pernah buat macam tu tak? Just cakap aja. Pernah rekod drum last? Pernah? Selalu orang buat drum first kan? But ini case, dia rekod drum selepas vokal semua. Bayangkan selepas backup vokal semua masuk, nak kira nak final mixing. Baru dia masuk drum. Dan I berani buat benda macam tu. Sebab ada confident dengan dia. Honestly. Ini benda dengan ganjil kan? Gary pun terperanjat. Gary, you explain Gary?
Yeah. I amat merendahkan diri lah, because Bell had all that confidence in me to actually. I said to him, Bell, I ada kerja. Tak apa. You datang habis semua, you just masuk your drums. So that to me was another learning curve lah. But the humbling thing for me was Bell had actually put his trust in me delivering to the best that I could for that song.
Lagu tu lagu Data, kalau you all ingat, tajuk dia Nyanyian Rindu Buat Kekasih tu. Lagu tu kan panjang. That was the song. Lagu tu kira tough juga, banyak pattern kat situ. Sampai Eddie Hamid cakap, boleh ke? Cakap, boleh, kau jangan takut. Sebab selepas Nan solo gitar, Bong main bass semua, I put my keyboard parts, CD Data dan nyanyi, dia masuk drum last. Mana orang pernah buat kan? Pasal this is recording, bukan show. I think there's siapa? Simon Philip ke siapa? Dia pernah record. Dia kan ada record last pasal dia dah pakai drum machine kan. Dia orang overseas, tapi kat Malaysia I think dia yang pertama kali try dia.
I pun ada pernah record, klik hilang. Klik hilang, teriris. So macam mana nak record bila tak ada klik? Kenalah cari dalam lagu tu ada track. Ni ada tambourine ni. Okay, cut and paste. But okay, sorry, talking about recording industry. A lot of you have not gone through what I went through, where we were using 2-inch recording. Okay, there was no Pro Tools, right? Nowadays, forgive me for saying this. Not a good drummer can sound good with Pro Tools. You can cut and paste, you can shift. If the drummer tempo lari, you can shift. You see, that is a very big gap. When we recorded, why I have consistent tone is because of that. Zairi recorded me a lot, and Zairi would tell Gary, this part tone dah lari sikit tau. This is the early days of recording.
Okay, there's one thing, I think kalau you all drummer, you all faham. That time I make mistake. Pasal lagu tu triplet. Tapi my click was 16. Awak boleh bayangkan tak banyak dia nak main. Ni serius. Lagu tu triplet. Tapi I dah set clip 16. You bayangkan macam dia main. This guy memang outstanding. Dia memang special sikit. As a drummer, you bayangkan kan triplet tak. Tapi itu tak dia boleh main macam mana. Tengah recording ni. Cakap Gary, those days kan, I think about early 80s or mana ada, that time yang random pun tak ada kan. Bila aku dah set macam gini, ikut je lah. Tapi susah. You bayangkan as a drummer, you nak main yang 4/4 punya dengan triplet, mana boleh main? Lagi drama tau. Kalau kita macam tu nak main rock, kan, drop and down. Tapi dia nak main drum macam mana? Dia punya ayat macam mana? Sebab klik tak tapi dia dengar tak macam ni. Kau pada pandai lah Gary. Serius. Itu kita punya pengalaman dulu.
Yeah.
Macam-macam.
Yeah. So coming back to the Pro Tools and the 2-inch, okay. If you haven't had the chance, you will not know. I mean, the 2-inch tape is actually what will grow you as a player, okay? But I think that era has already gone by. Danny! Hey, that's Danny there. That's my student, Danny. Thank you for coming, Danny. Okay, so we've got 5 minutes left, Belle. I'm going to go and whack this song, which became viral, okay?
Lagu ni sebenarnya I don't have to tell the title. Tapi once the main intro, you tahu lagu apa.
Yeah. Okay, I will finish the song because we have only about 5 or 10 minutes. Give me about kelonggaran sikit because there's a lot to share here. Okay, so I will go up and do this song, Belle, and then I will call Belle up again. But if you don't know Belle, please get to know him. I learned a lot working with Belle. Okay, you got to be friends with everybody. But at the same time, you need to know your game. You got to get your chops, okay, in the right format. Okay, I'm going to do this song.
Okay, guys, thank you.
Thank you, Belle. Thank you.
Itu yang kau ucapkan bila janjiku genggam bawah pohon Kamboja yang sekecil kita menanti di mahligai mainan. Bina bersama dari dahan yang rapuh. Siapa langkah kita, remaja kita tinggalkan.
right, guys, I better not talk too much because the next drummer slot. This song was recorded at Scat Studios. The studio, it doesn't exist anymore. Belonged to Michael Verapans. And it was my first time I jumpa dengan Dato' M. Nasir. I can't remember. There were some other musicians around. I think maybe not from the band, but I was just asked to come in and session on this song that later became a very big hit for them. And I picked this song. It's on my YouTube as well, my YouTube channel, because a lot of drummers didn't know how to do the intro or how I did the intro. And so it's there. So I'm going to cut this really short because are there questions that you guys have to ask? Any more questions?
Hi.
Hi there. Apa khabar?
I'm from Penang, so I selalu jumpa
Satu
you.
kampung.
I
Penang kat
selalu
mana?
jumpa, Batus.
Batu Word, mainland. Saya dekat Tanjung Bunga.
I selalu jumpa you.
Ya, okay. Apa khabar? Okay, ha? Okay.
I nak tanya berkenaan dengan lagu Ukis Kau Satu-Satunya. Groove, adakah yang tu daripada producer ataupun daripada Mr. Gary?
Actually, kebanyakan lagu UK's dah arrange oleh arwah Izaha, kawan baik saya. Saya pun rasa sedih bila dengar.
Groove tu sangat special sebab tak kebanyakan lagu yang ada groove yang macam tu lah.
Saya tak berapa ingat pattern tu, tapi ada dekat YouTube channel saya. But Kau Satu-Satunya, I forgot how macam mana dia punya melody. But the drum, kalau lagu tu memang pattern tu arwah Izaha ada tulis. Dia ada tulis the pattern. But I menyampaikan dengan cara saya. So banyak lagu-lagu daripada under Syari Amri, banyak dia punya arrangement is by arwah Izaha. But that drum pattern, it's my own feel. But kalau tak salah, the actual drum chart arwah Izaha ada tulis. Yeah, for that. Yeah, but I listen a lot. That's why I always encourage the drummers, go and listen, go back to the 70s. There's a lot of ideas that you can get from those players lah. Okay.
Hello, sir. I'm very interested in the sound of your drum. So can you, the sound of your drum, because it sounds very vintage. Yeah. So
I can't. Okay.
Yeah, the sound of your drum.
The sound. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good question.
So can you have a brief introduction to your drum set and how you can tune your drums to make it sound like this?
Okay. I have to make this very brief, okay? Otherwise, the explanation of the tuning. On all my performances, I tune my drums low, okay? Because I think drums has to have body, okay? So for me, it's very important for my first tom to sound big. You can still tune, for example, this, you can still tune it to me, but this is my preferences of tuning, all right? To give you a very quick answer, go and check Jeff Porcaro, okay? Jeff Porcaro tunes his drums also very low. J.R. Robinson as well, right? I can't really show it to you now, but that's a good question. Snare, I tune my snare. I'm a big fan of Steve Gadd, and it's been always my way. I tune my snare that way. On this song, I hit the center. Okay, guys, your snare drum is not just about skin and rim shot. It's not about skin and rim shot. Please, you can also hit the center. I choose to hit the center because I want more body of the snare. All right? But you can only get that sound if you start tuning it mid-low. All right? I can't really explain this now, but I've got to get going for the next performance. So I would like to bring Belle, please, once again. Thank you, Belle. Thank you for coming. Thank you, guys. Okay, thank you, guys. Okay.
Can we hear it one more time?
Okay, other one thing. Just now you were asking about the drum. I noticed this guy, You know how he practice his snare? Do you remember that 50 cent coin yang dulunya? You ingat tak? Duit 50 sen tu. Gary taruh dekat snare tu, punya pad tu, dia taruh masking tape. Dia hit benda tu. Selagi tak kena yang coin tu, dia rasa salah. That's how he practice. I saw it with my eyes. You tanya dia sendiri.
Yeah, I used to do that a long time ago because if you don't hit the drum center, you're never going to have a consistent tone. You can go back and try that, hit center, and then accidentally you hit at the side, the tone is different. So if you put a marker there, you boleh lah letak pencil kan. So you takut you nak cala you punya skin. Put a pencil outline 50 sen and then outline that. So make sure that every time you hit, your mark, your stick mark is going to show where you're hitting it, okay? I know mine is all over the place, but if you go and check, it's almost all there. That's a very good way to make you sound consistent in the studio, okay? All right, I better hand this back to them. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you. Thank you.
Gary Gideon, everyone.